Hi everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel BBC World News. In today's video, we will share with you latest news. McDonald's worker make fresh harassment claim. McDonald's worker have said they are still facing sexual abuse and harassment a year after the boss promised to clean up behavior at the fast food chain. One 90-year-old worker, Matt, told the reporter some of his colleagues were scared of going into work and that manager would touch up other member of staff. It's the reporter original investigation into the company. The UK Equality Watchdog has here 300 reported incidents of harassment. It now plans to intervene again. A McDonald's spokesperson said the company had undertaken extensive work over the past year to ensure it has industry-leading practice in place to keep its workers safe. The UK boss of McDonald's has been summoned on Tuesday to answer MP's question for a second time, including over claim of sexual abuse. A 60-year-old current employee based in the West Midlands says he was beaten, shouted at and sworn at by manager. A female worker 20 says a male manager sent her topless picture she left her McDonald's branch in the east of England in August. These claims all relate to events after November 2023 when the boss of McDonald's UK Alistair Macro first appeared in front of the Parliament Business and Trade Committee. Mr. Macro told the MPs then that the firm was taking action to improve working conditions after the reporter uncovered widespread concern over the treatment of staff. However, one current and two former workers from different parts of the country claimed that the restaurant audits that were promised were stage management by the branches. More than 700 current and former junior employees are now taking legal action against the firm, accusing it of failing to protect them. Matt said he quit his McDonald's branch in his Midland last year because of what he called a toxic work environment. He said he was bullied for having a learning disability and an eye condition, and then it was a stuff you notice manager and staff being racist to other staff manager trying to touch other staff up. He said some staff members felt scared to go into work because they feared something horrible happening. Matt said the work culture had not changed by the time he left in May. Not his real name, said he was repeatedly subjected to degrading and humiliating verbal abuse by his colleague at a McDonald's branch in southwest Scotland. It's a just homophobic slurs a lot, sometime to my face, sometime behind my back, then 90-year-old said. When he reported the problem to a senior manager, he said he was told it was just a bit of banter. Allen has worked in other fast food restaurants where he said homophobia was taken more seriously. It just seemed like McDonald's don't care as much, he said. Claire, not her real name, who worked at a branch in Midland until May 23. A shift manager asked her for sex in return for extra shift, which she refused. He was 70. He was in his 30s. You don't expect that to happen, she said. It was totally inappropriate. Like most McDonald's workers, Claire was employed on a zero-hours contract. McDonald's outlets are run as franchises, so local managers are responsible for employing the staff for their restaurant. Across the UK, 89% of their workers are on zero-hours contract. McDonald's say workers can choose to switch to minimum guaranteed hours, but we have spoken to 50 workers across the country who say they were not given that choice. Some workers told the reporter the insecure are led to an imbalance of power. Others, however, zero-hour contract workers well for them. Claire says she felt dependent on her manager for work. I was always asking for more shifts as I needed more money, she said. A McDonald's spokesperson said that in 2018 it offered all employees of choice of the flexible or granted hours contract, and that every staff room should still display information on how to request one. Additionally, after 4 weeks in or every new employee has a formal conversation with management in which managers check that employees are aware of the option of a granted hour contract, the company said. The company said it did not recognize the incident where a manager asked for sex in the return of shift. It provided with sufficient information, we would ensure a full investigation is carried out and appropriate action taken if necessary, the company said. Liam Barron, chair of the Business Select Committee, which will question Mr. Macro later on Tuesday, told the reporter the situation was appalling. There is a clear pattern of abuse here that suggests that McDonald's has become a hotbed of harassment and it's incredibly serious, he said. And when the boss of the McDonald's came for us last year, he promised that he would root out his problem, and it's quite clear that he failed. Most McDonald's staff are aged between 60 and 25. For many, it is their first job. Even senior managers are often young. young. Elliot, not his real name, was in charge of a store in the south of England. By his early 20s, he left last February. If I had a sister or if I had a daughter, I would not want them working in McDonald's, he said. And the McDonald boss spoke to MPs in 2023. He said the company stopped the practice of moving manager around so they could avoid disciplinary action. And Elliot said that days after Mr. Morkel gave evidence, a manager was moved to his store to avoid being disciplined following allegation they had sent sexually explicit message to female colleague who was 80-year-old. Following the reporter investigation, McDonald brought in outside consultant PricewaterhouseCoopers audit their restaurant and check on the well-being of their staff, but Elliot says the franchise he worked for rigged its inspection in February. They were meeting the best employee have plucked from different stores, said the people that can be coached on the correct answer. According to Elliot, the audit gave the restaurant in 100% rating, yet he told us 2 months before the audit, a manager working there had been accused of performing a Nazi salute to a Jewish employee. He said PwC was not told of his allegation. I think I am a bit traumatized by it, he said, and I think I'll continue to have bad memory of my employment for the rest of my life. PwC said that while it does not comment on individual clients, its site visitors subject to a stringent set of process and he renewed as required. A McDonald's spokesperson said PwC independent site visit play a critical role in the assessing each restaurant against specific criteria and ensuring standards are met. In the few instances where our expectations have not been met, we have taken prompt corrective action, the spokesperson said. The assessment procedures are under constant review by PwC and were confirmed early in the program to ensure that employee interviews which form part of the assessment are selected randomly by independent assessors, further safeguarding the integrity of the process. The reporter first began investigating working conditions at McDonald's in 2023 February after the company signed a legally binding agreement with the Equality and Human Rights Commission in which it pledged to protect its staff from sexual harassment. After our investigation was published in July 2023, McDonald's apologized and set up a new unit to deal with complaints. The EHRC also set up a dedicated hotline for abuse claims. More than 160 people approached the reporter with allegations after our initial investigation. While 300 incidents were reported to the EHRC. Now the watching says it is taking striking action against the fast food chain. In a new statement provided exclusively to the reporter, the EHRC said we are actively working with McDonald's to update our ongoing legal agreement in light of serious allegations raised by our work with the company and the reporter investigation. Its action plan will involve strengthening the existing measures, which included providing more training and conducting a survey of workers as well as announcing new steps. The reporter understands McDonald's said the agreement with the EHRC was signed with the intention that it continues to involve to ensure robust measures we have in place are aligned with any updated guidance. Separately, law firm late day said it had been instructed to start legal action against McDonald's by hundreds of staff and former staff with more than 450 restaurants implicated in the claim. A McDonald's spokesperson said, ensuring the 168,000 people that work in McDonald's restaurants are safe in the most important responsibility for both us and of our franchise. We have undertaken extensive work over the last year to ensure we have industry-leading practice in place to support his priority. Any incident of misconduct and harassment is unacceptable and subject to rapid and thorough investigation and action. The company said our relentless focus on eliminating all forms of harassment at McDonald's, led by a newly created team and informed by the experience and guidance of external experts, said it had rolled out company-wide programs to improve safeguarding, drive awareness and enhance training, and in addition to the 4 existing channels, it had introduced an additional way for employees to speak up confidently at any time, allowing employees to instantly raise issues digitally, which was specially designed to ensure they feel empowered to speak up. It also said its new investigation unit was dedicated to rooting out any behavior that falls below the high standard it demands of its workers. We are confident that we are taking significant and important steps to tackle the unacceptable behavior facing every organization, the spokesperson added. Said latest anonymous employee survey showed that 92% of its franchise people are now comfortable speaking up and 93% believe management will act. However, we know that we must be constantly vigilant and we will challenge and confront any behavior that falls below those standards, it said. Get your daily growth of entertainment. Subscribe today for new videos every day. Thanks for watching. For more, have a nice time. Goodbye.